Hey traders, welcome to Trade This Market video update for August 22nd, 2024. We're looking at a daily and a 4-hour chart of ES contract. So in yesterday's video, I talked about how we are likely, if the conditions were present, then we're likely to go and retest this 5721 zone. And the reason that I was thinking about is because the market was just not breaking down. And so this morning, actually yesterday, what happened is the 4-hour chart was turning bullish. And so we had the candles that were turning green. We had sentiment 2, this was turning green, and sentiment 3 was already green. So just like what happened here, when it was turning red here, and then initially uh, after the red candles turned green, then we had a little bit of follow up. And so I thought maybe we might be able to see something like that. Similarly, right here, what happened is that we had a little bit of bearishness that came in, and then market took off to the upside. So similarly, I thought, well, that could be a possibility that we may actually go back up to 5721, retest the zone, and then we will see what happens. And in light of what was happening in this market, so this market has been, going up and up and up ever since the 5th of August when we had the reversal. And so now finally we're seeing the break to the downside. And so what we think is that the market is likely to come back. We have a 50-period moving average, which coincides with a 23.6% retracement. Just below that is 38.2% retracement, 54.57, and then 50% retracement is at 53.93, and then 61.8% retracement is at 53.29. So we will see now what happens. Interestingly, we still have sentiment 1 is still green, sentiment 2 is still green. So what's likely to happen is that we may actually go back up, revisit 5630 zone. By then we will see if this actually turns bearish. And then similarly, if we see something like that happen here, sentiment 3, how it turned to the downside, then we could see a huge follow through to the downside. Maybe I'm thinking 50 to 61.8% retracement, but it's premature to say right now. We don't know. We don't have enough information just yet. So we will see how this market reacts. Now, let's talk about how we were able to capture a couple of these trades. So this morning, when they tricked everybody and to fool everybody to thinking that market is likely to go to the upside, and so we were waiting for 645 PMI number, manufacturing PMI number, and this candle right here is that's when the news came out at 645. And so having this now on our chart, basically it just negated us thinking about taking any trades to the upside, because market shouldn't have done that. And so as soon as it closed below the signal line right here on a 5-minute chart, and of course the 15-minute was not ready, was not given us a confirmation. And so we waited a couple of more candles, and then here was the confirmation right here. So 5-minute closing below the white signal line right here. So here's the white signal line, 5-minute closing below that. And then on a 15-minute chart simultaneously, we had a sentiment 3 that was telling us that there's going to be a follow through to the downside. That's exactly what happened. So the entry for the first trade was at 56.53. We stayed in the trade until we got a reversal signal right here. So the cloud right here formed on this particular candle, and then the next candle we seen the green dot that was telling us the reversal is coming. And so you better protect your profit right here. So from 53.53 entry to about 56.10, I'm sorry, 56.53 to 56.10 was our exit. That was a trade number 1. Trade number 2 comes in after this bounce comes in right here. And then we were coming and retesting the 4-hour signal. So we broke from the 4-hour signal here, and then we were just coming back and retesting the pivot. Anytime when you revisit the pivot from the bottom, it is likely to fail. Similarly, when we approach it from the top, so meaning if the price comes back down, revisit the overnight pivot, it is likely to go bounce to the upside. And that was my rationality for taking the trade right here. As soon as I saw a couple of different wicks right here, I knew the market is soft here, and I better get involved. So even though there was not a particular signal, for instance, this signal comes in at 56.24, I got in a little early at 56.32, and then I waited for this to happen. And so trade number 2 comes in right here, And again, we had the cloud right here. We had a green dot. That means that, the price is likely to reverse back to the upside, protect your profit. I exited the trade somewhere to 55.88. So from 56.30 to 588.90 zone, that was trade number two. And that was the only trades that were available to us. I was not taking any trades to the upside, because anytime when the 4 hour and 2 hour are down, meaning the sentiment 2 and sentiment 3 are down like this, you don't want to fight that. You don't want to go against it, because it's going to be messy, it's going to be painful, and you just don't want to trade that. So we're waiting patiently now for 5 minute, 15 minute to give us a re-entry trade to the downside again. And then, like I said, our target to the downside is first 55.37, 54.57, 53.93, and then 53.29. So we're staying nimble. We're not taking a huge risk. As soon as we see opposite on a 5 minute, 15 minute chart that market is reversing back, we're exiting those trades, protecting our profits. And then, market, when it bounces back up to the upside, we're taking those trades again to the downside. And so that's how we're going to play that for next 5 to 7 days. Let's see what happens. We don't know. It's premature to say right now what the market is going to give us. But for now, at least it looks like market has, broke down to the downside, and we are anticipating that this market will continue going to the downside for at least next week or so, and then we'll go from there. So I hope this helps, and I will see you at the next update. Take care.